Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. But seriously though, I know some of you might be mad, be like, Rachel, why is it taking you so long to pump out videos? Guys, university is actually hard. Why did nobody tell me? I thought it was gonna be fun, I thought I was gonna be having some like grownish type of experience. Nah, bro. It's not like that at all. But yeah, it's like, oh, uni is actually becoming university, and I don't like that. But yeah, it just took me a really long time to get the motivation to do my uni work, and then also to make a script for today's video. I know my banner on my channel says I have upload videos weekly, but clearly that's not happening. But yeah, I'm back today. But before I get into today's video, make sure that you subscribe. If you're new to my channel and you watch this video and you enjoy it, you better subscribe. Like, what do you mean you're gonna watch the video, like it, and then just leave and not subscribe? You better subscribe. Like, come on now, subscribe. But yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, subscribe, like the video, because run up the likes. I'm trying to get myself out there. So yeah, make sure you like the video, because that'll help me in the algorithm, things like that. Comment as well if you guys have any video ideas or things that you want me to talk about. Put it in the comments. I promise I read the comments. So if you guys have any ideas or you want me to talk about a certain topic or something, just put it in the comments and I'll probably do it. So yeah, let's get into the video. Okay, so as I said before, obviously today I'm going to be talking about Instagram Reels and the lack of empathy in today's generation, like on the internet. So for what I'm talking about in terms of Instagram Reels, because some of you guys, I know most people who are probably watching this video have an Instagram account. I have an Instagram account, but some of us, don't use Instagram Reels, or we're just not active on Instagram, so we don't know, what exactly goes on Instagram Reels, or you just might not know the tea. You don't know what's going on there. So basically, in regards to Instagram Reels, a lot of people have been saying recently, or I guess since the beginning of this year, that Instagram Reels and the comment section becomes very toxic, and the comments are usually very negative. And I can say in my personal experience as well, obviously, because I said I have an Instagram account, sometimes I'll go on there. I'm not really on Instagram like that though, because I feel like it's just always weirdos on there. Like, you know what I mean? They always send your videos or your content to the worst type of audience, and then you've got the worst type of people in your comment section. I don't want that, so I just don't really go on Instagram. Plus, I only post a picture of myself maybe like, I don't know, maybe every 5 months or something. But yeah, speaking of Instagram, you might go follow me on there if you want to follow me. But yeah, I have an Instagram account. Sometimes I'll be on Reels, and I have noticed that a lot of the times the post could be innocent, or it could literally just be a joke, and the comment section is genuinely so negative and is so toxic for no reason. And I'll never really understand or know why. And it's just very weird. I'm like, what is upsetting you so much that you type this out? Because sometimes I'll see some of the comments, like, I'll probably insert in this video somewhere, and people be asking me why I hate these men that camp on Instagram. Look at this comment section. I'm gonna show you what the post was. Just have a little gander, just look at the comment section. Right, okay? I'm gonna show you what the post was now, and tell me if this is not unhinged behavior. How can you see this and that is what you comment? I'm so sorry. Only on Instagram would whatless, brainless, as in your brain is not functioning properly, type of people will see a post like this and start commenting that nonsense in the comment section. And it's the fact that it's a bunch of probably women who are like 30 plus, fam. Bro, you should be looking for your husband. You should actually be looking for your husband if you want one, because I don't know why you're on Instagram chatting nonsense. Like, it don't make no sense. You man need help. Like, you actually need help. What? Just like, what? Because one man decided to wear a crop top. Now all of a sudden masculinity has just relinquished. Like, it was so ridiculous. And I'm just like, this is the type of stuff that I've only personally seen on Instagram. Do you know what I mean? As I've said before, I'm an avid TikTok user. I post, I comment on a lot of things. Do you know what I mean? I interact. I'm on TikTok. So it's like, I'll see some comment sections that's just a bit weird, but it's like I've never seen anything as ridiculous as Instagram real comment sections. Like, genuinely, I feel like it's something within itself. That's why I kind of made it into a video essay topic today, because it's like it feels like a phenomenon, honestly, because I don't see any other type of toxicity or negativity on any other platform that has like this, TikTok-esque type of feature to that platform. I don't see it anywhere else except for Instagram. I've seen it in YouTube Shorts comment sections, but most of the time it has to be a certain type of video that would generate that type of response. I mean, maybe like if it's like a video about I hate feminism, something like that, then you'll get the comments that would relate to the post. But it's like Instagram Reels could be literally anything. A young girl getting her hair done. The comments, one person in the comment section is gonna say something outrageous like, "Oh, she's trying to look like a prostitute." Bitch, she from Kanker, she just bought a Glock with a ruler cut. Boy, don't play with me, this bitch, 'cause I've seen this entire thing like happening in front of my eyes. I've witnessed it for myself, and it's so intriguing to me as to why it's happening. So I'm like, why not make a video on it? So we're gonna, take a deep dive into Instagram Reels, and we're gonna try and dissect and understand together why this is happening. So, for you guys who don't know what Instagram Reels is, I doubt most people watching this video don't know what Instagram Reels is. I feel like everyone knows what it is. But basically, since the rise of TikTok, a lot of other platforms such as YouTube and Instagram have kind of adopted this idea of pushing short form content, obviously because TikTok thrives upon the fact that the content is mostly short form. Do you know what I mean? The 15-second videos or like 30-second videos. Do you know what I mean? And obviously because TikTok makes you want to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling forever and ever. They make a lot of money because it appeals to most people. It appeals especially to younger people as well. So a lot of these other platforms like Instagram or YouTube are obviously trying to ride that wave. They want to be in their bag too, like TikTok. They want to get their users up as well, because obviously TikTok, especially during the pandemic, a lot of people were on TikTok in comparison to other platforms like YouTube and Instagram. So obviously these platforms wanted to boost the engagement and the amount of users on the app. So they introduced these, new features. Like for example, YouTube now has YouTube Shorts, where you can push short form content, which a lot of content creators are actually doing, and it actually helps a lot of content creators get their videos out there and helps them gain some viewership. But Instagram introduced Instagram Reels. So Instagram Reels is basically a feature on Instagram that allows you to make short videos and allows people to watch short videos. So basically imagine TikTok but on Instagram. That's basically what it is. It's like just another TikTok, kind of, basically. So it's literally the same sort of vibe as TikTok. You get the short videos, you can scroll for hours and hours and hours, you can comment on videos, you can repost the well, actually I don't think you can repost. You can share them, you can it's very similar to TikTok, so you know what I mean. So Instagram Reels was introduced in August of 2020, as I said. So a lot of these companies during the lockdown were trying to get on that whole TikTok wave, the short form wave content, because obviously over time people's attention spans have gotten much lower. So people aren't really intrigued to watch, videos that are like an hour long as much as they used to be before. People would rather watch 20, 30-second long TikToks than watch a 15-minute video. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of companies were trying to ride that wave, and Instagram was one of them. And initially, Instagram Reels only allowed videos that were 15 seconds long or shorter. But obviously, over time, this has increased. So now I think I'm not sure what exactly the number is, but I've seen videos that are like 30 seconds, maybe even a minute long. So yeah, it's becoming very much similar to TikTok. So for part one, I'm going to be talking about the rise of toxicity on Instagram.
I used to think Twitter comment sections were the worst until I read Instagram comment sections. I didn't know you could get a lobotomy through words. My brain, my frontal lobe it's shifted, it's regressed, and I can feel it regressing with every word.
So for all the people, especially people who are Gen Z, around my age, because I'm 18, um, for a lot of people who are growing up during that time period, we used to be on places like YouTube, Instagram, Musically as well for one of them. Musically, that used to be my kryptonite. So we used to watch all our favorite people, whether it was I don't know, Jacob Sartorius or the Merrill twins or Collins Key or used to be into the Kardashians or you loved Zendaya, all these different types of people. You follow them. And for the people who did have an Instagram account, because I used to have like a Instagram editing account and my edits were not good at all. Like, bro, you guys think, oh, her YouTube videos, she can edit good, bro. It was a starting process because if you see some of my old edits, they were so bad. Like, they were so bad. They was not good at all. I used to have an editing account, so I'd follow a lot of celebrities, and Instagram was kind of like that app where things like celebrity, like pop culture in general, dominated Instagram. Do you know what I mean? Everyone would freak out when Kylie Jenner would post a new picture. If someone would post a picture with their pink drink and their messy bun, do you know what I mean? People use it for aesthetics, things like that. Do you know what I mean? Instagram used to be very much an app where people would just kind of post nice, pretty pictures and people would interact with it, people would use it, people would freak out over it. Basically, like, we used to freak out every time our favorite celebrity would post something new on Instagram, whereas like now it's kind of like just the norm, like, oh yeah, everyone posts on Instagram, so it's like we don't really care as much. But before, at least for me, when I was younger, I remember I used to freak out about this type of stuff. Do you know what I mean? When I see that Mackenzie Ziegler would post like a new picture on Instagram, I literally lose my mind. So that was very much what Instagram was to me growing up, and I think that was what it was to most people as well. It was kind of like an app where people would just post pictures. You would say, you look so pretty, you look so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And that was kind of it. It wasn't really any much further. But we've seen, obviously, with the introduction of Instagram Reels, and, people posting on their stories as well, you kind of seen this more social aspect of Instagram where more people are starting to interact with people, having conversations with people. Whereas Instagram before wasn't really like a conversational app. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of the social media apps that we used to use back then, we didn't really actually interact with each other like that as opposed to now. Because obviously, especially apps like TikTok, that thrives off of social interaction. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone talks to each other in the comment section. The TikToks will be directed to certain people going through certain things. Do you know what I mean? There'll be videos that pop on the For You page. They'll be like, this video is for you. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it thrives off of that social interaction now, whereas like Instagram was not an app that was for that. It was kind of just like pretty people post their pretty pictures on there, everyone loves it, eats it up, and then we all go back to whatever other platform that we was on. Do you know what I mean? With the rise of people's attention spans becoming lower, these companies obviously want to keep people hooked in. So Instagram kind of started centering keeping people entertained more than just promoting pretty people and people who looks good. So that's why we have things like Instagram Reels now, and even the Explore page is like, you'll see things that is trying to keep you on the page. I mean, you'll see this cute top that somebody is an influencer is wearing, and then it's tagged in the picture, so you can go and look for it and see and find it where you can buy it. You can on the explore page now, you can see different edits of, random celebrities or people you've never seen before, but you think they're fine. So then you start looking, doing deep dives to see who is that man. Or, you'll see different reels on your feed, or like funny videos, so you want to keep on looking, you want to look in the comment section, laugh. Do you know what I mean? So it's like they're trying to keep you entertained and keep you on the app. So I feel like that's what Instagram has really centered now. Like, it's not really an app that's for pretty people to post pretty pictures anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's like an app now that, you know you can do anything. Basically, you can do anything. Like, do you know what I mean? So I don't think, like, is this thing of, it was just exclusivity. Because I feel like for me, when I was younger, especially on Instagram, I used to kind of see it as this like exclusivity thing. I didn't really see it as a thing that was like open to everybody. It kind of felt like only certain people, again, like the pretty people, it literally just felt like it was for pretty people only. Like, only pretty people could post on Instagram and use it. So it was like, you would just be someone who would be a lurker in the comments. Like, you wouldn't actually be a personality or persona on there. And I think also with the introduction of stan culture and stan culture becoming so vapid amongst society, I feel like now the whole thing of people kind of being more outspoken and saying whatever they want has become more popular, because if you're within a space or like a vacuum of people who all share the same interest, you know what I mean? For example, if you're in a space where it's all Taylor Swift stands, of course anything that you say that is in relation to Taylor Swift, they're all gonna praise you and they're gonna be like, yeah, periods, yeah, you're so right, do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it's like, when you now enter outside of those spaces and you realize there's some people who don't have that same view as you can kind of have this sort of visceral reaction where you're like, why don't you like Taylor Swift? Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not even saying this in like my perspective. I'm saying from what I see. I feel like a lot of people, when they get outside of these Twitter spaces or these TikTok spaces where it's not an echo chamber, they get surprised when it's like they encounter people who have a different opinion or different view. Because it's like, not everyone loves Taylor Swift. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, when you get outside of that space, or even if you want to use Beyonce or whoever else, when they get outside of that space now and someone says, oh, I don't like Taylor Swift, or oh, Taylor Swift is mid to me, or she's boring, blah blah blah, these people will obviously in reaction would want to defend her. They'll be like, why are you saying this about Taylor Swift? Don't come for the queen. Do you know what I mean? So it's like this kind of whole thing of like kind of being mean or being rude to people for not much good reason has kind of been on the increase. Do you know what I mean? And like, if you say something about a certain celebrity or a certain person who's popular on the internet, and their fan base or people who support them happen to see that, do you know what I mean? You're gonna get dragged. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you say something like, oh, I don't like XYZ's music, or I don't like the way XYZ dresses, you better hope that XYZ's fan base doesn't find you, because if they do, then you're done for. Jan, even if it's just simply that you have an opinion, you don't dislike this person, or even if they do something problematic and you want to call them out for it, you'll get dragged. So do you know what I mean? Like, you will get dragged, and it's like this whole thing of kind of being more mean behind like a screen has become really popular, I guess. Like, I feel like the only way I can explain it is like people enjoy doing it. They enjoy being mean to people because they feel vindicated, I guess. Like, do you know what I mean? If someone violates Beyonce, for example, you're Beyonce stan, and you read them for filth, and you're like, oh, that's why your friend in your bio is unalive or something like that. You'll feel vindicated because you're like, yeah, period. You shouldn't have said anything about Beyonce. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, it's obviously adding to that toxic atmosphere. And because a lot of other stands see that behavior and they think, oh, well, they're doing it in defense of this person, they're doing it in defense of XYZ, do you know what I mean? They'll think that it's okay. And I think because a lot of us in general are really into the parasocial relationships, and a lot of us are just stands of people. We are like huge fans of people. Obviously, I don't necessarily stan anyone. Like, you know, SZA is one of my favorite artists, but I wouldn't say I'm a stan of SZA. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to do anything on social media in her honor. But it's like, there are a lot of people who are stans, like for example, K-pop stans. Like, a lot of people are heavily invested, and like a lot of the things and their interactions with social media are derivative of what they stan or what they're into. So I feel like when it's now a thing of someone else doesn't like that, like what they're interested in, or you know, people have different opinions from them, or they say something that they don't like, that's when this kind of vitriol or nastiness comes out. And I feel like it's become more normalized because people are like, oh, well, you know, they like this artist and they only said that because this person violated this artist, so it's fine, it's okay. Even though when you really think about it, is it normal to actually make fun of someone's dead relative because they said they don't like the way Beyonce dresses? Like, do you know what I mean? Is it really normal to do that? No, but it's like we don't really question it because we're all thinking, oh, well, we all love Beyonce and that person loves Beyonce. They're only defending Beyonce. So it's like we don't think it's weird, but in actuality, it is weird. You know, even on TikTok as well, because, you know, as I said before, I'm on TikTok. I've seen like literally someone will be in a comment section of somebody, you know, maybe does something goofy or something stupid. They'll be in the comment section as like a joke saying, post this on IG Reels. Like, that's become a whole joke on TikTok now, to comment that on someone's TikTok if you think what they're doing is cringe. Do you know what I mean? Because they already know IG Reels is going to tear that person to shreds. And I think in the regards to why there's an influx of just being mean on social media in general, I think is definitely due to a combination of things such as general increase on people being nasty online, the platform dynamics, and also the deliberate rage baiting that a lot of these platforms try to do, or these people who are running these accounts do to run up their engagement. Do you know what I mean? You know how some people purposely post something that is gonna be inflammatory, that's gonna like make people mad. They purposely post it knowing that people are going to engage with it and be like, hey, that's not okay. But you know, they're obviously going to get thousands of comments telling them not to do that. But that's obviously helping their engagement. So it's like a lot of people think as well that a lot of these accounts might be doing that as well, simply just to boost their engagement. And, you know, if we're even talking about Twitter as well, once Elon Musk took over Twitter, the use of the N word literally shot up like 500%. Literally, this is like a whole statistic that you can find on the internet. Like, if you Google it, you can find it. The use of the N word went up 500%. Like, that's actually crazy. And that's because, you know, he wanted to bring back people like Donald Trump and Andrew Tate back to the platform, even though those people were pioneers of generating hate speech on the platform. Do you know what I mean? And it's like a lot of these people as well, the people who are running these platforms, claim to care about things like free speech and all that. But then it's like, does free speech also include hate speech? Because last thing I checked, hate speech is not free speech. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's like, if you guys claim to be putting your community guidelines, you don't stand for racism, you don't stand for homophobia, xenophobia, whatever else, you know, you don't stand for this, or misogyny. Like, why do you guys allow it so much on your platform? Do you know what I mean? I feel like Twitter as well, especially Elon Musk, does absolutely nothing to really stop or like reduce the amount of hate speech on his platform. It's like, why did you even buy Twitter if you don't care about it? Like, do you know what I mean? What has Elon Musk exactly done to enhance Twitter for anybody? Do you know what I mean? He's not done anything except adding something like a paid subscription, which really and truly is not necessary. It doesn't enhance your experience at all. He's done nothing to really improve the app or, you know, make it different. He changed the name and the logo. That's it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why buy the company or the app or whatever, or take it over if you're not gonna do anything with it? It's like you're just occupying it for no reason. Like, I just don't get it. And then it's like you just allow more hate speech on your platform, and then it's like when you're confronted about it, you don't really want to address it or say anything about it. Like, it's just very weird, and then you want to claim you're not a racist. Like, I don't know. And a lot of these companies, in my opinion as well, would rather profit off of you know, engagement in their platforms being up, because people are allowed to finally be hateful and openly use their hate speech, whatever. They'd rather gain profit off of more users, even though these users are racist and, you know, horrible people. They'd rather gain more profit off of that and, you know, make money, instead of actually trying to better monitor these apps and manage them properly. And, you know, it just, again, it's like the thing with the community guidelines. Why do you have in your community guidelines, you don't tolerate racism, you don't tolerate any sort of hate speech, things like that, but you can literally find hate speech easily on your platforms? Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna, you know, get onto these people and say, oh, you know, why is there any hate speech? Because obviously people will find ways to um hack the system or whatever. You know, people find the ways to beat the system, but it's like you guys literally do nothing. Like, you do nothing. Like, do you know how easy it is to go on Twitter and just look up any sort of offensive, derogatory word? You'll find thousands, if like thousands of tweets of people using this word, even if they're not using it, you know, in, let's say, a derogatory way. If they're just using it like even people who are using it in a derogatory way, it's thousands of tweets, and it's like these tweets will have loads of likes as well, loads, and it's like these are platforms, they just don't care. They don't care about it, and it's very strange. And I feel like the fact that a lot of these platforms are not more against it, or do not do anything to really stop it, makes it even worse, because it's like, oh, so you guys just allow this on your platform, like you allow it, and, you know, then you're confused as to why, you know, things like suicide rates go up, or why body dysmorphia in young girls goes up, because pro Anna accounts are allowed to be up on Twitter and things like that. Jeremy, even on TikTok as well, with like this whole you know, this whole like extreme looks maxing accounts that be promoting their stuff to young kids and encouraging body dysmorphia and kids to have insecurities and teenagers to have insecurities. You know what I mean? It's like these platforms, you guys all allow this. You guys allow it on your platforms, and then it's like you guys will be confused when it's like parents will be like, I don't want my kid on social media. Do you know what I mean? I don't even blame parents who say they don't want their kids on social media, because it's like when you see the type of stuff that is allowed, it's crazy. It's crazy, and there's just no boundaries at all. There's no boundaries. You know, any kid or whoever, just you just downloads Twitter, you know, they could literally just stumble upon like NAZI Twitter by accident, and it's like that shouldn't be normal. Like, it just shouldn't be. It shouldn't be normal. Like, that should not be normal. But I feel like it's just it's too accessible. Like, it's too accessible. And I even said this in like my unpopular opinion video. Like, social media is way too accessible to anybody. Like, it's too accessible, and there's no boundaries. Like, there's no boundaries, and a lot of these platforms don't care about creating more boundaries or making these platforms safe. Like, you don't care. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's like, I wouldn't even be angry if it's like these platforms said, you know, that they don't care. Because if you say you don't care, then I can't criticize you for not caring, because you've already said it. But it's like, it's the fact that you have community guidelines and terms of service and all this stuff claiming that you care about users' well-being and all this nonsense, but then it's like you don't really do anything. Like, you know, I can even say for me as well, being on TikTok, I've been on TikTok for 4 years now, 4 years, and I can confidently say people have been openly racist to me, openly colorist to me in comment sections, or, you know, said things to me, yeah, in comment sections or under my videos The comment will stay there. I could report the comment. TikTok is going to tell me, oh yeah, we found no violations to the community guidelines for this user, whatever, blah blah blah. So these people can continue to just being openly hateful and openly racist and openly whatever other type of phobe or ist. And if I reply or respond to these people, then it's my comment that's getting taken down. Jamie, I remember one time someone was literally being racist to me in a comment section under like one random TikTok on my For You page. And I replied to this person and I cussed them out. Obviously, not like, because it was a blank PFP. So I couldn't really like say anything personal. But I cussed this person out. I'm like, bro, you shouldn't be talking. And then my comment, I got a notification from TikTok saying, oh, your comment was taken down for violating community guidelines. But then I'm saying the comment I reported of this person originally being racist is still up. They had the audacity to send me the notification saying, oh, this person's comment doesn't violate the community guidelines, but mine does. Mine that doesn't have any racist language in it. But that person who commented something literally hurling a racial slur at me is not getting their comment taken down. Like, it's so ridiculous. And I'm like, you guys are saying you don't allow racism on your app. Yes, you do. I've just stopped reporting it at this point because it's like they don't do anything about it. Pro Anna accounts on Twitter I've seen so many. Twitter don't do nothing. Twitter, honestly, when I tell you Twitter is just a battleground, it's a battleground for war. Because I'm sorry, there's no boundaries. There's no boundaries. You can be racist, you can be homophobic, transphobic, pro eating you know what I mean. You can promote literally the worst things on the planet. You can be a NAZI on Twitter and it's okay. They don't care. They just don't care. And it's like, it's crazy. Then these apps want to say, oh, community guidelines, hate speech and blah blah blah. Bro, you guys don't care. You don't care. So for part 2, I'm going to be talking about the lack of empathy on social media and the lack of empathy within my generation or this generation. So as I said, Stantua obviously has contributed a lot to this whole thing of people lacking empathy because, if I'm doing something in the name of Taylor Swift, or if I'm doing something in the name of, if I'm doing something in the name of NBA Youngboy or Kanye, then it's fine. And I feel like because obviously now, again, this is another unpopular opinion that I actually forgot to mention in my video, but I personally feel like you should not be allowed to be on social media and have a blank profile picture. You should not be allowed to have a private account, blank PFP, but you're allowed to be public. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be allowed to publicly comment on anything, publicly, do, you know what I mean? If you want to comment publicly and talk, BS in people's comment section, your account must have a face and you must have a public account. Do you know what I mean? I don't personally think that is fair for someone who has a private account with a black profile picture to be able to be in comment sections publicly talking smack, but then you go to their account, oh, it's private, no posts, 0 posts. Like, what? But yeah, anyways, I was saying a lot of these stan accounts as well, obviously they don't show their face, they don't really post much, they don't post anything, so you don't know their identity, you don't know what they look like, whatever. But a lot of these accounts will be the ones that will feel so emboldened to speak on other people's appearances, talk about how others look, insult people, drag them. But it's like, you only feel bold because you are behind a screen. You're behind a phone screen. You're behind the Taylor Swift PFP, so you feel fine. You're behind your Kanye PFP, so you're okay. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like that kind of culture has just, increased the whole thing of people, lacking empathy, because it's like, oh, well, it's only the internet, it's only TikTok, it's not that deep. If I insult someone on Twitter, it's not that deep. It's not real life anyway. And I think it's just in general, again, with the whole algorithms of a lot of these social media platforms, you're just openly able to be any type of phobic or ist. Do you know what I mean? If you want to say that you hate black people, you can say it. Like, you really can. You really can. And that's why I don't understand why some people be like, oh, if the roles were reversed. Bro, I've seen it. The roles been reversed. Like, bro, go on Twitter, literally type up, I hate any type of marginalized group. Like, literally, I don't know, I hate gays. You'll find it. you will find it thousands with lots of likes up and running. Do you know what I mean? They ain't gonna take that stuff down. Like, bro, it makes no sense to me. No sense to me. And I feel like a lot of these platforms again want to keep talking about, protection of users and all this stuff. But then it's like, so doesn't protection of users also include their mental health? If your mental health ain't protected, are you protected? No. And I think also in terms of being on the internet, again, this whole thing with, being able to hide behind a profile picture and whatever, a lot of people kind of now will be able to be horrible or rude to a person and then we use the excuse of, oh, it's not that deep. Oh, it's just TikTok. It's not that deep. Do you know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people do that as well. It's like if someone on their For You page pops up and they're not like conventionally attractive, they'll be in the comment section tearing and ripping that person to shreds. But then it's like, why? And then it's like you ask them why did you say this? They're like, oh, it's just a joke. It's TikTok, it's not that serious. I'm like, so really and truly, there's no reason behind why you did what you did. You're just doing it because you think you should. Like, I feel like that's just like a really poor excuse. Like, that's a very poor excuse. Like, it's low hanging fruit. It's really low hanging fruit. And when I think about this whole thing of people kind of just attacking people and being lacking empathy in general, I feel like I remember the whole Nella Rose situation where, if you guys don't know, Nella Rose is a very popular YouTuber amongst like Gen Z in the UK, and she kind of dominated YouTube for a very long time. Love Nella Rose. There was a time period where she had gotten old tweets exposed and she had said some ignorant things. Like, well, she had like maybe one or two tweets where she said something ignorant, and people was literally dragging her for filth, saying, "Oh, you hate yourself, blah blah. This is why your mother passed away and things like that." And it was just very awful, and it was like that whole time period is like most of the people who was dragging her saying these horrible things to her did not care to defend the people who she had insulted. They did not care about her, quote unquote self-hatred issues. They didn't care about any of that. They didn't care about holding her accountable. They just wanted a reason to be rude. They wanted a reason to be horrible and nasty and mean. And it's like, why do you lack so much empathy? Do you know what I mean? It's like, would you seriously go up to someone in real life and actually say to their face, that's why, if they say something that you don't like, be like, that's why your mother passed away? Like, what? Like, I'm sorry, it's just ridiculous. And it's like social media has really normalized that type of stuff where it's like, it's not normal behavior. It's not normal to say that to somebody, like it's not normal for you to do that. Nobody who's mentally stable would actually say that to somebody. I'm going to tell you now, I can tell you that for free. Nobody who's mentally stable is going to make fun of somebody's relative for passing away just because they said something that they don't like. Like, and I'm talking about something reasonable here, not something like they say something racist or something misogynistic, because that's different. I'm saying if they say something reasonable, like, I don't like, I don't know, for example, I didn't like Kanye's last album or something, or Drake is cringe, something like that. Do you know what I mean? Is it normal? Like, if someone says, for example, I don't really like Nicki Minaj, something like that, someone will literally tell them, oh, that's why your mum passed away. Like, what? Like, I'm sorry, it's not okay. Like, it's not okay. You men are not mentally well. That's what I'm saying. It's like, again, with the whole parasocial relationships, a lot of people who have extreme parasocial relationships, like a lot of people who are heavily embedded into stan culture, are only heavily invested in it because they are doing it to fill a void. And a lot of the time is to fill a void of loneliness or fill a void of affection that they don't have. And I feel like, again, I'm not gonna mock people who are like stans, like heavy stans. Do you know what I mean? Because at one point I used to be a K-pop stan. Do you know what I mean? But it's like when I look back at that time period of my life, yeah, it was mainly because I was lonely and I had too much free time on my hands. So I got heavily invested into something that I really and truly I like. I had like, obviously, no, I'm not like bashing anybody who's a K-pop stan because K-pop is good, but like I'm saying, when I was heavily invested in it to the point it was unhealthy, it was because mentally I was unhealthy. Do you know what I mean? So it's like a lot of these people who are too invested into what they stand is because they're not mentally you're not there. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think we have to somewhat be able to understand these types of people who are commenting these nasty things, but then also be able to hold them accountable and understand what led them there. Because you know what I mean, it's not the average person just wakes up, makes a Twitter account, and they're typing being the most nasty person on earth. And I think social media in general as well has just desensitized us to a lot of things. So we lack empathy in that sense as well. Like if we're even speaking about what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on in Palestine, I've seen so many comment sections of people, seeing things of people talking about how, children are passing away and how people have no food and water, dying of starvation and exhaustion, things like that. And it's like so many people in the comments just think it's not that deep. They like just don't care. And it's like it's crazy because on platforms like Twitter, again, a lot of the time you're going to hear me throughout this video saying Twitter, Twitter, Twitter. It's because Twitter is a main culprit of just letting anything fly. But, on Twitter, you can literally find videos of people committing suicide, shooting people, beheadings. You can find all these types of videos, and it's, people will watch this stuff. I've seen comments on TikTok, people being like, oh, I love watching gore and blah, blah, blah. It's like, what? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy how desensitized we are to this stuff. It's like people think it's normal. Like they actually think it's normal. It's like it's nothing normal about what's going on. And I feel like it's gonna be too late when people realize how much of the effect, like a negative effect social media has had on them individually, like as a person. Because obviously I can say I'm self-aware, but I feel like a lot of people just lack self-awareness. And by the time they do gain that self-awareness, it will be too late. You'll be too far gone to realize, wow, social media actually fucked me up. But it's like, yeah, the whole thing with desensitization, it's like a lot of people, you just don't seem to care because, oh, I've heard about people dying. People die every day. It's like, genuinely, I've seen people comment that under videos related to Palestine. People are like, people die every day. Like, why is this situation so serious? I'm like, huh? Like, oh, like, I'm sorry, nah, genuinely, because it's like, I'm trying to understand the thought process, and it's like, how do you even get there? Like, how did we get here? And I think also in general as well, we, at least for people who use TikTok as well, have seen this rise of people being ruthless or horrible to people who aren't conventionally attractive in their comment sections. Like I can say on TikTok, it's become a whole trend. Do you know what I mean? If someone who isn't conventionally attractive is doing something like dancing, people be in the comments like, oh, is this the original? Guys, we're in the original, things like that. And it's like, you guys, I just don't understand. It's like someone will just be having fun doing the most harmless thing. Someone in the comment section is going to be like, oh, she's so ugly, or oh, you look like blah blah. It's like, why is this necessary? Why do we have to be horrible? Like, do you know what I mean? Does it help you feel better? Does it make you feel good? Do you sleep better at night knowing you bullied someone on TikTok? Like, I just don't get it. And it's like people enjoy participating in making fun of people together. They enjoy doing that type of stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're part of like some big event. Do you know what I mean? They feel part of something. And again, that's why I keep bringing up this whole thing. A lot of the time, people who are doing this are doing it to fill their void of loneliness. You feel lonely, so you get on TikTok and join in comment sessions of people bullying one random girl because you feel like you're part of something. And to me, that's just really sad, and it goes to show again the effects that social media is having on people. And it's like, again, people will not realize until it's too late. You will be too far gone before you realize that you're actually just lonely, and that's why you're a terrible person. Do you know what I mean? It will be too late. You'll already have turned into the worst possible person ever before you realize that. And I feel like a lot of people just don't want to have the conversation either. A lot of people are just like, oh, why is it so serious? You made a whole 40-minute video about Instagram Reels. Why is that serious? I'm like, you guys just aren't ready to have the conversation. A lot of you guys aren't ready to have the conversation. You don't want to confront anything. You don't want to confront your demons. You don't want to be honest with yourself. And that's fine. But I'm not gonna stay in delusion with you. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of you, I know what you are. And it's just again this whole thing of everything being a joke. People saying in response to someone, you know, in response to you calling them out for being a horrible person, they're like, oh, it's not that serious, not that deep. It's just TikTok. It's just a joke. It's like, why must everything be a joke? Sometimes can we not just be serious and be like, this is not nice. You weren't nice to this person and they didn't really deserve it and we don't understand why. But it's like, for some reason, if you call that out or say it, everyone is onto you. You're like, oh, it's just a joke. You can't take a joke. Blah. Like, no, maybe I just don't want to be a horrible person. In conclusion, I honestly just think that the lack of empathy epidemic will have negative effects on people being able to be open and authentic and like candid on camera. I just personally feel like if it continues like this, a lot of people are just not gonna want to be their full selves on camera because they're fearful of, oh, if somebody posts me on Instagram reels, I'm done for. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why does social media have to get to that point where it's like we're scared to just do anything? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of sad, like low key. It makes me sad because I'm like, damn. So, bruh, if someone posts a random TikTok of you just having fun or something like that and it ends up on Instagram Reels, your life is over. Do you know what I mean? It's like, literally as well, even me as someone who posts on TikTok, like anytime a video goes viral of mine, I'm sometimes worried that somebody who has a Twitter account, whatever, will post it and it'll randomly go viral on there, and then next thing I know, I'm getting dragged on there for filth by random people who I don't even know. It's like, why does social media have to get to this point? Like, I really don't like it. It's just very negative and toxic for no reason. It's like, I don't know if it's maybe because I'm older now, so I see these types of things more. But I feel like when I was younger, when I was like 10, 11, and I was on Musical.ly, and I'd watch my favorite YouTubers, and I was on Instagram, I wasn't seeing this much toxicity. And, I can't fully explain it in depth because I can't even comprehend or fathom it myself. But it's like, I still wonder, like, where did it all go wrong? Like, I just don't know where it went all wrong. And I think, honestly, the collapse of celebrity worship and idolatry will be what we'll probably see and decrease in this toxicity. Because I personally just feel like stan culture in general has kind of ruined the internet. That's just me being honest. I feel like stan culture has personally ruined the internet. Like, apps like Twitter, forever stained because of stan culture. TikTok as well, personally, I feel like it's a bit stained as well because of stan culture, because some people just take it too far. I don't know about Instagram, but Instagram Reels as well, I can even say, I feel like a lot of people on there as well say horrible things in defense of certain celebrities, things like that. But it's like, the celebrity didn't ask you to say that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like honestly, once we stop putting these celebrities on a pedestal and thinking we have to defend them in every single situation and we have to do things in their honor, we'll probably see a little bit of a decrease in it. But realistically, do I think that's going to happen? No, because a lot of people need parasocial relationships in order for them to function. So, yeah, I personally don't know if it will happen anytime soon, but I definitely think that stan culture and people celebrating and, worshipping celebrities has a very big hand in why social media has become so toxic. People engage in attacking other artists and celebrities because this person is in beef with that person. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so unnecessary and we don't need to do it, but people still participate in it anyways because, again, this whole thing of feeling like you're part of something, you're included in a monumental event or something, it's like, why? And again, in like my main takeaway from this is that a lot of these platforms like Twitter, Instagram, even TikTok as well, just don't really care about making their platforms good places. They just don't care. They're there for is money. And capitalism, am I right? It's just like these big corporations, none of them truly care. They don't care about black people. They don't care about gay people. Do you know what I mean? As much as they want to change their logos for Pride Month and, do something special for BLM or whatever, they don't care because in the same breath, they're allowing people to be racist to black people on these platforms. They're allowing people to be openly homophobic during Pride Month, but yet you're saying you support the LGBT community. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's just so fake, and I feel like really and truly this like what's the word? This like inauthentic capitalism, social justice just really isn't for me. I know the way I just said it is really trash. Like the way I just said it is a really shitty way to put it. But that's like it's like capitalism having a hand in like social justice, which is just very weird. It's like you what? Like I'm sorry, I don't need Instagram to be my ally. I don't need Mark Zuckerberg to be my ally or pretend to be my ally. It's just very weird. Because it's like in the same breath, you know, you're saying on your platforms you want to support black creators and blah blah blah, and it's like someone was literally just being racist to me in my comment section, and I reported it, and you guys did nothing about it. So it's like I just feel like in general this fake advocacy, once we get rid of it, maybe I'll be able to just, you know, move past it, I guess, because I don't really see this problem going away anytime soon. But yeah. And that's all I have to say on this topic, honestly. This video, oh my gosh, I've literally been filming for almost an hour. Wow. Yeah. This topic, I wasn't expecting to say so much about this topic, but yeah, honestly, do you know, if you want to continue to be on Instagram Reels, you know, TikTok, whatever, continue using it, honestly, because you know, I'm not going to say that I don't have fun there sometimes. Yeah, I do have fun there sometimes. You know, Instagram Reels can be fun. It can be, TikTok is fun. Like, I'm always on there. But I just feel like, personally, it just gets really toxic. The internet gets toxic. So that's why I always, you know, heavily like for people, please, and I'm not even saying this as a joke, please make sure you are going outside. Like, please make sure you are going outside, because I promise you, the world, you know, or at least your sphere or where you are is not as toxic as this Instagram reel comment section is. Do you know what I mean? Because it's easy to go in a comment section or see an influx of negative videos and think the whole world is against you. But it's like, please go outside, go talk to the people in your life who support you, people who are there for you. You know what I mean? Just make sure that you're not chronically online. Like, please don't be chronically online, because that's how we get people like this. You know, people who I'm talking about in this video, that's how you get it, by being chronically online. I'm back. Sorry. My camera cut out in the last frame. I don't know why it cut out. But yeah. Thank you for watching today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, like the video, please. If you don't like the video, then you stink. Like, you just stink. I'm joking. But yeah, like the video if you liked it. Do all of that good stuff. And yeah, if you have any video ideas for me, comment them down below. And I will see you, man, next time for another video. Bye.